House stand adjourned until Thursday, February 13th at 10 a.m.
It seemed the most commonplace of duties. But when Adrian Jones gavelled the Maryland House of Delegates to a close recently, it was remarkable. For she is the first African-American Speaker of Maryland's House ever. And if Speaker Jones is living history, so too are two new statues of Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass that have life forces of their very own. Looking into the eyes of the famed abolitionists is startling, revealing a poise and steeliness of purpose that were not lost on two student pages from Prince George's County.
She has like a very serious face. You could tell like nobody messed around with her, like she was not to be played with. It was nice. It's Black History Month and everybody's so excited, so I thought it was perfect timing. I think it's well deserved. Everybody knows their legacy and their history, and I just hope many more founding fathers of the African American culture can also get statues.
I noticed that it was similar to the George Washington statue that they have, and I thought that was really important because you could tell they put the same care and love and respect into the people in the history of Black American history as well as the white history that we learned a lot of.
For the student pages from across the state who got to listen to new delegate Andrea Harrison talk of how she has followed in her father's political footsteps.
And so my father was, in my town where I grew up, was a councilman. First he was the head of recreation, then he became a council member, then he became the mayor, then he became a county council member, which was the seat that I had.
And who got to see the portrait of Verda Welcome Freeman, the first African-American to ever grace the State House's marbled walls. It was a banner week to witness Maryland history. Of course, if you're a student page, there is also work to be done. As Speaker Jones says, pages do everything from the mundane, like making coffee, fetching water, and running errands, to the magnificent. And through it all, they're making friends and garnering kudos from everyone they meet.
You're like a mom to them down here for the 2 weeks they're here.
Yes, and it feels like that all of the time. I think that we have some of the greatest students across the state who come here. We have over 100 that come every year. They are the best and the brightest.
They ask a whole lot of questions, and they're very good questions. So you have good students that come from Prince George's today, this time around, and I wish them all the best, and we thank them for all that they're doing for all of us.
Oh, I think the PAGE program is a phenomenal program. It really gives young people who are leaders in their own communities and in their own schools a chance to see the tough decisions. And, you can read about democracy in a textbook, but what really matters is seeing it in action and seeing the way that we have to come to compromise and the debates. And, it's not just theater that we see. It's real people trying to make tough choices.
After their 2 weeks of proximity to power and learning Maryland history from Maryland historian Senator Mike Miller, a living legend.
We didn't adopt the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. And so we've got Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman looking on. They weren't allowed to come in that room because at that time, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment to the Constitution hadn't been adopted.
It is not all that surprising that some dream of coming back as elected officials themselves. Even the Page coordinator once had the same high hopes.
But I've always wanted to be a lawyer, and I've always been interested in politics. I want to be a political science major. So when I found out about this, it was just like a dream come true.
Oh, wow. I said earlier, you guys look like you were really comfortable in those chairs out there. Would you like to be a delegate or a senator here?
Yes, it's a dream.
I think that if I'd had this experience, I may have gone in a different direction in terms of...
Seen you sitting out there.
You may have seen me in the White House.
Statues of President Tawana, Senator Marissa, and Governor Kennedy someday next to Harriet, Frederick, and George? It could happen. This is Dave Zarin reporting.